I'm going to show you how to memorize the bass fretboard in the next 9 minutes. So why am I in the forest? Well, I got lost. The same way you get lost on your fretboard. I didn't have a good map.
But you can't brute force your way out of the proverbial woods with shit like this. This is not a map. This is an insane data dump that hurts your brain and makes you want to lie on the floor. A real map gives you relevant info you can actually use in the moment to play cool stuff. And with a good fretboard map, you can instantly find the name of any fret anywhere on the bass. So you don't get embarrassed mid-jam when someone says, "It's in C," and you can't find a C. So in the next 9 minutes, I'll show you the 5 fretboard steps that'll help you get the entire neck memorized like a pro. Step 1 when you're lost in the fretboard forest is to start mapping the money places, like places that you can sleep safely, places you can find water and food. Stuff that you'll need every day. And the parts of the fretboard that'll keep you alive are the money notes, the most played and useful notes on the neck. Because the bass fretboard has 84 notes on it, or more if you have more frets or strings, but these ones are like high and non-bassy, and mostly good for soloing, which is rarely what you need to do. The notes we get paid to play on bass that most popular bass lines actually use are the money notes, which support the band down low. So learn those notes first, and you can trick people into thinking you've memorized the fretboard already, even though your 9 minutes aren't up and you're still very much lost in the woods. So what are the money notes? They're the plain letter name notes within the first 4 frets of each string. On your thickest, fattest string, it's open E, 1st fret F, 3rd fret G. Next you have open A, 2nd fret B, 3rd fret C, then an open D, 2nd fret E, 3rd fret F, and finally open G, 2nd fret A, 4th fret B. And notice the money notes make an alphabetical sequence with no gaps. E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B. To actually memorize these or any fretboard notes, the trick is to not tackle too many at once. So if you need to do one string at a time, then really learn open E, 1st fret F, 3rd fret G, and then move on string by string until you have them. If you spend just a couple minutes reviewing note names every time you pick up your bass, soon your mental map will get solid and easy to read. And I've got a free PDF in the description with reference charts for all the notes in this video and resources to help you go deeper. But what's with those gaps between the money notes? Like sometimes it was 2 frets from A to B, sometimes it's 1 fret from B to C. Well, to understand this, you need more than just a few memorized money spots.
You need to learn how to get from one place to another so you can leave a memorized note and then actually find your way back.
And the fastest way to do that on bass is the say and play exercise. This is how you take the musical alphabet from confusing theory garble to something you can actually see on your mental map of the fretboard. To do this, you need to know the musical alphabet, which I cover in other videos I'll link in the PDF. But let me show you how simple this is. All you do is play each fret up and down on a string and say the name of the notes as you look at the neck. So on the E string, you start by playing the open E, looking at the nut and saying E out loud. Then you play the 1st fret, look at the 1st fret and say F, continuing through to the 12th fret, F sharp G, G sharp A sharp B, C, C sharp D, D sharp E. And then we land at E, the double dot. This is where the fretboard repeats all the same notes but higher, which kind of cuts your load of notes to learn in half. And then you would go back down, E, E flat, D, D flat, C, B, B flat A flat G, G flat F, E. You use sharp names going up and flat names going down for the least clunky version of this exercise. So this exercise is not about memorizing. It's way too many notes at once. It's about learning how to move up and down the alphabet on the neck so that you can leverage the notes you do memorize to find other nearby notes. So if you know your money notes, then you know there's a G on the 3rd fret of the E string, and you could quickly go from a G to a G flat or a G to a G sharp. Or say you're wondering the name of the 4th fret on the A string, you would just find your nearest money note, which is C, and then walk through the alphabet just like say and play to find C sharp. So in your short fretboard practice sessions, just say and play on each string, or even just one string if you're pressed for time, review your money notes, and you're well on your way to knowing the whole neck.
And if you want to learn your fretboard with more support, plus get a handle on all your other fundamentals, I highly recommend my Beginner to Badass course. Now where the f am I?
I start from the absolute ground floor, and by the end you'll be able to find any note on the neck, learn interesting songs, and even survive real-life jams, gigs, and hopefully grizzly bears. Click the link below or check it out at BassBuzz.com. And you spot note patterns on the bass neck by using 2 key shapes. With these shapes, you can use the notes you already memorized to quickly find more notes. So the 2 shapes you need to know for this are the octave and the unison. The octave shape is more commonly known. By going 2 strings up and 2 frets up from a given note, you get the same note name but higher sounding. So this is a C on the 8th fret of the E string. You go up 2 and up 2. This is also a C on the 10th fret of the D string. And it works the other way too. This is an A on the 7th fret of the D string. Go down 2, down 2. That's also an A on the 5th fret of E. The unison shape is a bit sneakier because it doesn't fit in a normal playing position. A unison means the same note in the same octave. So to find these, you go up a string and down 5 frets. So from a B flat, here on the 6th fret of the E string, you go up to the A string and then down 5 frets, 6 minus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 equals 1. You get the same note on the 1st fret of the A string. And you can use this in reverse too, like take an F on the 3rd fret of the D string, go down 1 string, up 5 frets, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3 plus 5 equals 8. So you have the same note on the 8th fret of the A string. So instead of just looking at a data dump graphic and hoping for the best, you're using shapes to identify patterns on the fretboard, which helps you build your mental map.
But with only a few money notes memorized, it might take too many steps to find the notes or the food that you're looking for. We need to explore and memorize more of the forest so we can more efficiently drain its natural resources.
And on bass, that means it's time to learn the dots. So yeah, you know how there's dots on your bass? Well, there's actually a reason they're there, and it's not just so there's somewhere to put the clay or the abalone shell. The dots make up a sort of skeleton on the fretboard. So once you know them, you're never more than 1 fret away from a note you have memorized. To build out this part of your map, take it 1 dot at a time so you don't get note blasted, and use mnemonics to make the memorizing go faster. I'm going to quickly walk you through a mnemonic for each dot, but keep in mind this could take some weeks to really internalize. First of all, your open strings, E, A, D, G, you can use eat and drink grapes. Then on the first dot on the 3rd fret, G, C, F, B flat, we've got guitarists can frequently B flat. Boom, roasted. Next on the 5th fret, A, D, G, C, you can use and drink grapes, Captain, to continue the one from the open strings, or you can use all dogs get cats, which is weird and not really true. Then on the 7th fret, you've got B, E, A, D, which spells bead, because in the 7th grade, you made bead bracelets at camp. And finally, the 9th fret is C sharp, F sharp, B, E. So if you C sharp, you'll F sharp, and then B out of good mnemonic ideas. And by the way, like we saw in Say and Play, the 12th fret repeats the open string, and then the other dots mirror the lower dots. So this 15th fret dot is the same as the 3rd fret dot, etc. Once you master the 4 steps we've done so far, you're never more than 1 fret away from a note you already know. And to test your fretboard map and navigation skills, you need the Bass GPS exercise. Because you might think you know where you are on a map, but a GPS tells you for sure. I wish mine was working right now. This is the best way to see if your fretboard map is actually working and shore up any weak points. And it's super simple. All you do is look away from the bass, fret a random note, and then look back at the bass and say the note name as fast as you can. It's an E. To start out with this, use a limited area of the fretboard, like money notes zone only. So you'll look away, you smash a note, you look back and say the name as fast as you can, F sharp. And eventually you can tear all over the neck and increase your speed. You can even gamify this with a metronome. So you have 4 beats to look away and play a note, and then you have 4 beats to look and say the name. Oh, it's a G. Just take it slow at first, increase the metronome speed over time, be patient when you find your weak points, D flat, and notice your progress. And the PDF is full of more info and practice recs. But don't get stuck doing only fretboard memorization exercises. Use your fretboard skills to map the note names while you play songs, like these first 50 songs you should learn. You can even sing the note names out loud to impress your jam buddies. In your E, in your C, Zom G, Zom G, Zom F sharp, R, R, R.